White seed. Okay, let's watch. Yeah, man. Like, obviously gets absolutely demolished on this play. And there's people out there. I remember putting this up on Twitter. I'm like, oh, he should have thrown it to Mims. What? Play action. Mims is his first read. Mims is running obviously the vertical, and there's a guy over the top of him, by 5 yards. He's not going to stick on that and wait for that to come open if it even does, because by that time everything else is covered up. So it comes off of Mims correctly, and even at this point, like, yeah, chuck it up to potentially make a play to the sideline, but you're not throwing that ball on first down. So you have 1, 2. You're gonna see him on the other angle go from 1 to 2. When he goes to 2, what is he seeing? Obviously, linebacker gaining depth, safety here. He's not going to throw that ball. Then he goes to his 3, who is facing, an over-the-top defender, and all the defenders inside are obviously drifting towards this way, and this defender's the nearest defender past this defender. Hips are opened to the initial read side, so that should be open for Elijah Moore. Steps up into a massive hit and throws a ball with anticipation again. You look, when he decides to throw this, he's getting into his break, coming just out of his break. So it's a little bit of anticipation there. And you could argue that you even want Elijah Moore to cut that a little bit more flat. When you're breaking to the inside like that and a guy's on your hip or near you, you don't want to take it vertically or take it vertical, because you take it vertical, he can undercut it if the ball is going to be on you to behind. So I would say you want Elijah Moore to cut it even a little bit more flat there, but delivers a ball, a seed, perfect spot. Elijah Moore, good job catching it. But play action, read the safeties, come off of Mims pretty quickly because there's a defender over the top. Go to Garrett Wilson over the middle, right here. Again, sees the linebacker, sees the safety, comes off of that. Boom, right there. Goes to Elijah Moore and takes a massive shot from Oliver. Not ideal. Now you want to see George Fant pick that up better. He's too high here and he's leaning too much. You want to see, again, now it is a little bit difficult when you have Ed Oliver, who gets as low as he does right here, but you want to see that hand get attached to the center of mass, center of gravity, not center of mass, center of gravity, the hip, the ribs. But having a hand high right here, it's not really going to do much of anything. At this point, you want to see him wrench him. Well, that's where you want his hand initially. But if he's strong enough to work through that, you ideally want to see a wrench that hand into the back and the left hand onto the chest area to straighten him out. But he allows a hit there. But again, look at that ball. You really couldn't walk it into a better spot. Right on Elijah Moore. So hell of a play by Mike White right there. Again, there's not many plays, if any plays, where you're going to see Zach Wilson stepping up into pressure like this, delivering a good ball and taking a hit as big as that was. It's not out there. Maybe there's a player or two that I'm misremembering, but I can't really remember him doing much of anything. And then the next play, he comes out for, I think, 2 plays, right? Because that was a first down conversion, or that was a conversion. And you have Flacco. You have a Flacco handoff, and then you have a Flacco missed Conklin play, I believe. And then this is 3rd down. And we're looking at 3rd and 10 again for Mike White. So we just had a 3rd down conversion. Was that a 3rd down conversion? I forget that one's a third down conversion. No, it wasn't. But still, we had one earlier. Now we have another one. Again, 3rd down. He can't throw the ball. He's check down guy. Okay. 3rd down. He just got absolutely mollywopped the play before. Now he's going through his reads again. And he hits Elijah Moore on it. Or sorry, you have Garrett Wilson on an out. He does a good job with his route, obviously. Selling dry face hard right there. Doesn't really give any indication that he's breaking to the out. He does beach Trey White, which is obviously a good play. And again, Mike White is stepping up into pressure again after getting absolutely mollywopped and delivering a ball to Elijah Moore that's right on the money, right on his chest. Perfect. Read the middle of the field. Reading Elijah Moore's out to the in underneath, or the little snag jerk route from Elijah Moore. The snag has no option to the snag is just that sit, in breaking sit, and then the snag you have an option to sit it, break it back, or continue the route. So nonetheless, he's reading Elijah Moore or he's reading Garrett Wilson, and he's reading Garrett Wilson on this route. What is he seeing? Elijah Moore out over the top leverage, pretty much even. And he trusts Elijah Moore, or I don't know why I keep saying Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson to get to the spot. Perfect. Again, nice anticipation here. For the most part, throws the ball as he's coming out of his break, or as he decides to throw the ball as he's going into his break. Good job. Money throw. And again, he just got mollywopped, and that gets into a lot of guys' heads. It does. And you want it to stop because eventually it will. But give some pressure in his face again, and he's not afraid. Steps right into it. And that's obviously not the same as a guy coming completely clean, but still. Good play by Mike White there. White, no chance. Okay, I'm going to show maybe one or two of these, but no chance here. Let's see. Again, like, there's nothing open. You have that orbit motion from Mims. You have a corner and a dig, probably 1 to 2 here, and nothing's open. Obviously, this is covered. And you have Mims there in the flat, which if he had more time, he probably checks that down. He's going to check that down to Mims, but which is a good decision. But watch CJ Uzama. Watch how, and this is a bad game blocking for Uzama and Conklin. They have some good games. They have some bad games. Here, this was not ideal. But watch how late he's off the snap. He has no chance. So I don't love play action fakes with longer developing concepts with your tight end blocking anybody. Now if it's a shorter concept, okay, fine. But longer developing concept on the blind side with a 2-man deep route concept with only 1.5 checkdowns, whatever it is. Or sorry, that's not Mims. That's Elijah Moore. That's my fault. Looked like Mims, right? Oh, you know why? I couldn't see the top of the 8. It looked like 11 right there. That's my fault. But no chance. Uzama's way too late off the snap, obviously, to recognize it, and he gets blown by. Oh shit, the ball is snapped. No chance for Mike White. Okay. White force. Okay. White force. My dog may or may not bark. Yeah. Oh, no bark. I'm surprised. Somebody else is moving their garbage cans. Oh, there's one. Okay. Yep, knew that was coming. Hey, chill, buddy. Okay. So, Mike White force. Let's watch. Sorry. Rewind it. I knew that was coming. I heard the garbage can moving. I was like, oh. Yeah, this is a force to me. You don't want to see this one. Now I know there's some pressure in his face here, but you have Denzel Mims as the one on the out, so it's going to be 1 to 2. If he pulls these guys vertical, okay, get it down to Conklin, which he should have. That's a Conklin throw all day, because when he goes to throw this ball, that curl to flat carries. The curl to flat carries, you have cover almost looks like an inverted 6, where he takes the deep half, he drops down to the curl to flat, he's the hook to curl. Nonetheless, he's squatting because there's no vertical threat. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So with that being said, he's reading again 1 to 2. If he expands or if he widens and gains depth, he's open, right? And that's Milano. Is that Milano too? Milano's a good linebacker, and there's no reason, unless you have an elite arm, an elite touch, you're throwing this ball. That has to be perfect. Almost gets picked. If you're throwing that ball, it needs to be high and outside and a toe tapping catch, but he puts it too far inside, and it's a bad decision anyway. That's a simple play. Drops back, reading the safeties, seeing him expanding. He trusts this is where I said he's writing checks his arms can't cash. I think that's the correct terminology now. I screwed it up the other time I said it, but that's a check he can't cash. get it to Conklin. You pick up, 3-4 yards there. Now it's 2nd and 6 instead of what most likely or what should have been a pick. Like this is a turnover worthy play. This is one of his worst plays of the game. Because if you watch it again, reading the safeties, reads the concept, and at the end of the day, the ball hits Milano in his hands and he drops it. Thank the rain there, because that was an interceptable play. The process was an interception. So not good by Mike White on that play. Yeah, and listen, this is not the show that I'll only put up positive or only put up negatives of certain guys to fit any narrative. The thing is, it's good about being a film guy is I don't have narratives. I might root for another guy more than more than some others, but never lies. I'm never gonna lie to you. Mike or White third down conversion again. You look at 3rd and long here, 3rd and 10. Like this is the third one, 3rd and 10 he's converting. Like look at that seed, dude. It's an absolute. That's a dime. And again, what are we reading? Another sail concept here. 1, 2, 3. He comes off the 1 quickly here because why? 1, you have a defender who's pretty tight and a defender over the top. So you're not going to throw that vertical ball, right? Now, past that vertical ball, you have a corner route versus an inside defender, and you're going to trust Garrett Wilson for the most part on many routes. But when you have Garrett Wilson outside versus an inside defender on a corner route, you're taking it. So good job getting off of the 1, getting to the 2, reading that leverage, and throwing the ball. Throw it. Couldn't walk into a better spot again. Perfect. And by the way, I don't know about you guys, but I've seen many, many less egregious late hits out of bounds that were called. Many. And that doesn't get called. We'll watch from the other version too, but middle of the field, again, come off of that 1 because of the reasons we talked about. Come to the 2, couldn't walk the ball into a better spot. Again, Dwayne Brown allowing some pressure. Yeah, allowing some pressure. Perfect ball. Catch. 1 step out of bounds. 2. Look how far he's out of bounds when he makes contact. No penalty. 2 refs. So White to Barrios, 27. Okay. Yep. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3 there. And this is a seed. Now the thing is, you could wish it could be a little bit more to the outside, a little bit more, just in case this defender has some elite athleticism. And good job speed turning by that defender and contesting, to be honest, because what he's seeing is, he's reading the 1 to 2 to 3. 1, congestion. 2, congestion. He gets to the 3 quickly. Why? Because this is not really going to be open. Gets to the 3 quick. He sees his hips turned over the top leverage and outside. Throw the ball outside or get it to him. It's a good throw, and he's seeing his hips open. He doesn't expect him to speed turn and take as good of an angle as he does. So good job by the defender. So you want the ball a tiny bit more outside. That is a very, very, very nitpicky thing. Even because Barrios is looking to the inside, so you don't want it's harder for him to adjust to the outside. But that ball is close to getting picked off or at least defended. So you want to see him adjust to it a little bit more outside. But still, near perfect throw and near perfect decision. 1, get off it to he gets off those reads really, really quickly. Off, boom there. That's really quick processing. And obviously hell of a throw. Good job on McGovern picking up that stunt. White anticipation. So now we have one of those spin concepts from the Jets where and I'm not going to guarantee it because I can't guarantee it. This is probably an option. You have the dig, and then he has an option again to sit, break inside, or on a short in or an out, and Uzama is seeing defender squatting inside, break it out. So he's going to read 1 to 2. When Mike White drops back, reads the safeties. Safeties are getting depth. Okay, the dig should be open. Who is the conflict? Now this is the conflict. If he widens or sticks this route, now you have over the top defender versus an inside breaking route, over the top and outside defender versus an inside breaking route. I'm going to trust it, right? So that's what he sees. He goes to throw the ball as he's getting into his break. Again, anticipation. Right on Mims' chest again, who has to jump to catch balls. He can't not secure catch without jumping and catching into his body. Tough spot. It's a harder location, but still, it is frustrating to watch Mims catch a football. Again, read the safeties. He's going to peek this linebacker now, Milano. Okay, he's taking Uzama. Anticipation throw. Boom, right on his chest.